Hello and welcome to Green Angle. I am Esther Mokwariola. On this week's edition of the show, we get to see how a community in Lagos, Nigeria is adapting to a flood situation following the release of water from Oyan Dam in Ogun State, and the concerns regarding genetically modified organisms, the health and environmental impacts, even as it is perceived to improve food security. And before we begin, let's bring you updates from the world of environment. The inspection began in Ikorodu with the commissioner making a stop at Majidun to assess the water levels in the lagoon following the release of water from Oyan Dam. The tour continued to Agbede, where the team identified damaged infrastructure and severe erosion affecting this community.
Graciously, Mr. Governor had approved the second leg of the drainage system to start immediately. And the contractor had been awarded the job, and I believe in the next few days or weeks it should be on site. Then we now fill it up and get Ministry of Works and Infrastructure to help them put up a road infrastructure.
Next, the team visited Itowolo, also in Ikorodu. Here, many houses and shops were found submerged, with residents forced to adapt to these challenging living conditions.
We also need to appeal to those citizens that are staying around Ajegunle, Itowolo. They are taking so much risk. They are built inside the Ogun River embankment, and that water will never leave that place for them. We're still appealing to them to leave, to higher ground. It's emotional, but life matters a lot.
The final stop on the tour was Isheri North, where the team assessed the extensive flooding that has affected the community. The commissioner assured residents that steps are being taken to mitigate the situation.
We just want to plead with them that let's see how far the dredging that has been awarded will go to mitigate this, and then we'll now find a way to see if there are still other things we have to do. Now they're giving us one or two suggestions with respect to a canal that they need us to touch for them, and then an embankment to help see if they can hold back the water.
There are 7,000 plus. They're arguably one of the largest estates owned by Lagos State. So with what he has said that canal will be dredged, he has promised us that the embankment will be looked into. I want to be sure that we'll be able to give our people good news that we have heard from government.
In addition to this, the commissioner revealed that there is an ongoing extensive construction of a 3.7-kilometer channel and secondary collectors on Berigbe Road in Ikorodu as part of measures to prevent flooding in the axis. Imagine living in a community constantly being flooded on a regular basis and being forced to adapt in such uninhabitable conditions. Well, that has been the lifestyle for many living in Ikosi, Sheri, Lagos. We explore more of this situation in this documentary piece, even as the state government is asking these residents to move to higher grounds.
I pour on the silly too, so I won't be able to feel the snake.
Living in these tough conditions, her source of water is already contaminated, but she applies a method to make it safe for use.
I'm using it. I put alum inside because I fetch it inside drum. I put alum inside. This is just for bathing. I don't use it for cooking. I fetch water for cooking. I don't use this kind of water. I cannot even smell the odor, talk less of using it and cook.
Other residents blame the worsening flood situation on poor drainage, indiscriminate waste disposal, and illegal construction on drainage systems. They are calling on the state government to address these issues.
If you go to that canal there, sometimes in September, we have cleared the drainage for easy torrential movement. And we even thank Lagos State government for giving us optimum awareness that from so to so time you should prepare yourself. There will be flood, and we have actually prepared. Even you can walk inside it. It is not more than 3 feet depth.
All of us cannot be at Ikoyi. We cannot be at Aja. We cannot be at Okota. They should value the people living here. What we need there for this Sajegule is drainage.
Well, we knew that this is annual visitor, so that's how the flood usually comes, and when it comes, within few weeks, it will also go back. To some people, they are comfortable living here because there are some people that are fishing here, and when the flood comes, that is when they are making money. So they catch fish, and when they catch the fish, they sell, and from there they are making a lot of money. And to my own belief, every area in the world are also experiencing such. So our own too has come, and as it has come, we know that very soon it will go.
The Oyan River Dam, located in Ogun State, releases water annually to prevent structural damage and reduce flood risks. However, the release impacts surrounding communities, particularly those along the Ogun River channels that extend into Lagos.
It is crucial to understand that the dam's annual operations are informed by real-time hydrological data, rainfall prediction from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET), and flood outlook from the Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency (NISA). These sources guide the water release decisions, ensuring both flood control and integrity of the dam. Notably, 62.1% of the dam's flood control capacity remains intact, meaning the Oyan Dam is not under any imminent threat of releasing excess water beyond safe limits.
The Lagos State government says it has carried out dredging and maintenance in several locations to mitigate the impact of the water release. They are also appealing to residents to avoid actions that contribute to flooding.
All over the world, the practice is when a disaster is approaching, the advisory is given, kindly leave this place to a safer place. It's when it becomes a disaster that the government can now pick them into the IDP camps or whatever camp, and that becomes the remit of LASEMA or NEMA. We owe this environment a major duty to leave it better than we met it.
As Lagos, a city barely above sea level, continues to grow rapidly, the state faces increasing pressure to implement more proactive solutions. Without such measures, the most vulnerable residents will remain at the mercy of these recurring floods. Green Angle returns in just a moment. Stay with us. The debate over genetically modified organisms, otherwise known as GMOs, is growing louder and even more complex. With diverse opinions and concerns emerging, Uloma Onyemachi in this documentary piece dives deep into the conversations, presenting all perspectives to help the public make informed decisions.
In Nigeria, agriculture is not just an industry, it is the lifeblood of the nation. With a booming population and the challenges of climate change, the country's food production stands on shaky ground. As Nigeria searches for solutions to strengthen its food security, genetically modified organisms or GMOs have emerged as a potential game changer. With the mention of GMO, it provokes mixed feelings amongst Nigerians and also based on viral videos on social media.
Defect of russet Burbank potatoes called net necrosis, and you've seen potatoes with a little brown line sometimes or spots that come through it. Well, McDonald's won't buy them if your potatoes have that, and the only way to eliminate that is
to delve deeper into the topic. I visited the Nigeria Biotechnology and Research Development Agency for an insightful discussion with Dr. Rose Gidado. As a key figure in the Agricultural Biotechnology Department, she elaborated on the agency's view of GMOs as a pivotal solution for Nigeria's agricultural challenges, including low crop yields.
In the history, I think it's over 30 years of consumption of GMs and development and consumption and what. There hasn't been any like negative reports, that so person has eaten it and has died or what. So you have to ensure that safety is of utmost importance.
Dr. Gidado acknowledges the limitations of GMO usage, especially around labeling, and assures efforts to improve transparency. The TVC crew, after the sit-down, toured the demonstration plot within the Biotechnology Agency, revealing the clear differences between GMO and traditionally grown crops.
We're here at a unique farm where two worlds of agriculture meet head-to-head under the umbrella of a major food crop in Nigeria, maize. On one side, we see the crop that is grown the traditional way but heavily infested by insects. But then, on this side, we see the latest genetically modified food, which is Stella maize, evidently green and thriving.
Despite the potential of GMOs, skepticism remains among some Nigerians. We set out to see the people I believe feed the nation, farmers. This led us to Wasa, a farming community on the outskirts of Abuja. Farmers like Nicholas and Samuel noted the challenges of replanting GMO crops after harvest.
We know much about food because, like somebody like me, I eat anything that I see, anything eatable.
But what do we really know about genetically modified organisms, or GMOs if you like? Why should we care? Well, let's get more insights as we speak with the Director of Programs, Health of Mother Earth Foundation, Joyce Brown.
Contrary to what the promoters of GMOs would say, that those of us who are opposing GMOs are anti-science, are against technology, none of that is true, and we all want to we all want to solve the food insecurity challenges that we have. But the truth is that GMOs do not solve the problem of food insecurity, and if truly we want to address food insecurity in Nigeria, we would want to look at the structural and fundamental problems, the issues that are actually affecting food productivity, and one of which is the conflict, right, happening especially in northern Nigeria, that is keeping a lot of our farmers away from the farm. And these are people who are central to food production, and the fact that they are not able to go back to their farms significantly is reducing our food productivity. And of course, the issues of wastage. There are studies in Nigeria that have shown that up to 50% of food that is produced is lost due to post-harvest losses. So we can address this by ensuring the provision of the appropriate infrastructure to ensure that a huge amount of food is not wasted. GMOs, genetically modified organisms, are plants, animals, or microorganisms that have had their genetic material modified in ways that do not naturally occur by introducing genetic material from related or unrelated species into these plants, animals, or microorganisms for a number of reasons, which include for these crops to be herbicide tolerant, such that you can plant the crops on a particular field, and when you spray the herbicide they are modified to be tolerant to, this can kill off other organisms except that particular plant. We have others that are modified to act as pesticides with the introduction of genes that produce a particular toxin to kill off pests when they try to attack these crops. Then we have others that are designed or that are said to be drought tolerant, some to have increased levels of some particular vitamins or some other nutrients. Most of these GMOs, farmers are not encouraged to replant after the first planting season because the productivity would reduce. So farmers would have to go season after season to these corporations producing and selling these GMOs to purchase these crops. This would mean that we are not in control of the seeds that we are planting with. We are not in control of our food. We are not in control of our food system. destroy the targeted weed or targeted organisms, but also beneficial organisms out there for other researchers, independent researchers, to also do peer review to actually confirm to Nigerians that these products are safe. The practices of agroecology includes mixed cropping, which helps to improve biodiversity, which is very key in terms of resilience of ecosystems to, climatic shock, to extreme weather events. It also includes crop rotation that helps to break the cycle of pests, that addresses the issue of pest infestation, and also the use of the introduction of trees on the farm, which is called agroforestry, introduction of animals on the farm. All of these which help to diversify income for our local farmers. And agroecology is not about going back to the way our forefathers were doing things. It's not about the traditional way of doing things. Agroecology is actually a science. It combines innovation, combines modern scientific knowledge with traditional knowledge, right, to ensure that we improve agricultural productivity, we improve food productivity in a way that still ensures that we have healthy food.
And that's about it on this week's edition of the show. Until I come your way next time, remember, together we can build a sustainable world. I am Esther Mokwariola. Bye for now.